What is up, guys? Welcome back to another stream or another video, another episode. But we are two for two this week. And for this one, I wanted to cover another question here. So, what I like to do for these, if you've never seen these before, is I go over some of the questions that people ask on my YouTube. I don't really get to respond to all the comments, so I think, doing a live stream like this works a lot better where someone can, interact, someone can leave a comment, and that can be covered in another live stream. And I'm able to go in depth, when I make videos like this instead of typing it. Now, the question for today is, let me go ahead and pull it up here so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. And this is also going to be left on the channel, so you can watch this later. Let's go to close that out. All right, so this is a question here. So this was a response to one of my old videos. So this is a video that was turned into a YouTube short. Obviously, when you make these shorts, things are going to be out of context. And for this one, it was essentially talking about people that are not able to find jobs within, their majors. So if you major in finance, maybe you're not finding a job in finance. You major in accounting, you're not finding a job in accounting, which is rare. I've seen a lot of people that are more in the communication side, or, some of those more vague degrees, that where there isn't really a lot of demand for workers. So this person was, essentially agreeing that, not everyone's going to be able to get their dream job right out the gate, okay? Which is one of the things I like to preach to people, especially people that are in finance. People that are in finance are entitled to to getting those high paying jobs. Those they want to go to Wall Street, they want to go do investment banking, they want to do they kind of like, go for those glorified, finance positions, which there's nothing wrong with it, but you also have to realize that those types of positions are what everyone is looking for, or what everyone is trying to get. And if you think about it, you're about to graduate with your class of 2025, and there's, let's say, 500 of y'all that are graduating with the same degree. Now you got to think about the other schools around the country. They're all trying to go work for for that, for maybe it's EY, or maybe it's PwC. They're all trying to do the same thing, right? So you have to be really competitive. Now, with that being said, all of y'all might have, great skills, 4.0 GPAs, but it's going to come down to something that's going to eliminate a lot of qualified people. So when it comes to that, you can't just be stuck on, I'm still going to apply for this place every year, and I'm going to wait until I get accepted, and I'm not going to work anywhere else because my dream is to work on Wall Street or something like that. That's not how it's supposed to work, okay? One of the greatest things that, I've seen a lot of people do is, as soon as they graduate, they would take whatever entry level position, which is what I did too, right? You take an entry level position job in finance. It might be a regular financial analyst for mid-sized companies, big company, or maybe small company, right? So if you want to transition to, the corporate, finance, like, so I started off at a mid-sized company, and I went to EY, which is one of the big four consulting firms. So, like, things don't really, translate there, but essentially, when you start there and you take those skills to EY, you don't get to start as an entry level person. You're starting off as someone who has a little more experience, right? Now, think about it. If you had waited until you were accepted at EY, then you would start off as someone who is an entry level. So you need to build those, those basic skills. They're going to help you start a level higher. And if you're going to go into these bigger, these are huge corporate companies, you have to realize that everything is structured, right? There's a structure, there's a ladder, right? You have to start off as I think as a staff or something like that, and then you go to analyst one, you go to analyst two, you go to associate, you go to, there's these different levels. And one of the things they'll tell you is that, hey, it's gonna take you 2 years to be, to make it to analyst two. It's gonna take you 3 more years to, to take you to associate or something like that, right? So you want to come in with that experience so that you can skip the line. So, things don't always translate as much as as much as people want them to be. So when you graduate from college, just take the first, obviously it has to be in your major, or like it doesn't even have to be in your major. You're gonna build skills that are gonna help you regardless of what job it is. When you actually go to your dream job, you already have skills and you're gonna start a level higher. And at the same time, you're making some money, while waiting for your dream job. Now, that's pretty much the question for today. I'm gonna go ahead and look at some other ones that I've not been able to get to. And like I said before, this is gonna be left on the channel so that you can watch this tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or whenever. Now, another one is so this is kind of related to the one from last week. Let's see here. All right, so this next one is actually pretty interesting. All right, so this one is asking if you actually need a CPA to go into accounting and finance. Now, you know, this is why I told people to actually go to industry before you do those certifications, right? So most people that are in finance go for their CFA, and then you have people that are in accounting, they go for their CFA, as soon as you finish your bachelor's degree and you go to your master's, you might do that, right? So, this is probably one of the worst things anyone can do, because once you get that certification, that's kind of like, that's something that's, a huge milestone. That's something that you have to practice, right? It costs a lot of money to even get those certifications. It takes a lot of time to study for those certifications. And once you get it, you actually have to use it, right? If you think about it, there's a lot of people that go into different fields in business, and they realize that they actually don't like doing that type of work, right? So if you were, I know myself, I was in accounting at first, and I realized that I did not like doing that. So I switched over to finance, which is something that I like doing. Now imagine if I had went and got my CPA while I was in college, and like I finished my bachelor's degree and I went straight to study for my CPA, and then I got my CPA. Now I start working as an accountant, and I realized that, well, I don't really like accounting, right? You just wasted time and money. You wasted, a lot of resources that you could have allocated to things that you're actually doing. So one of the things I recommend for people that are going to be, graduating from college, thinking about getting a certification that takes time to study, that takes a lot of money to acquire, is actually go work in that industry, right? If you want to be an accountant, go once you graduate from your undergrad, go be a staff accountant at whatever company you want to work at. That is going to expose you to working with CFOs, people that are actual CPAs, other people that are staff accountants, and it's going to expose you to a lot of work, whether you're managing the general ledger or you're doing a bunch of other accounting things. That's going to expose you to that type of work. Now, if you do the work and realize that, yeah, I don't really like doing this, then you probably shouldn't go get a CPA or invest in a CPA. Same thing for the CFA as well, right? Go work as a financial analyst for whatever company you want to work at. And once you kind of like get exposure to things that you think you might want to use your CFA for, and try to see if you actually like doing those things, right? Because the last thing you want to do is go get that CFA and realize that you do not want to use it, right? So yeah, so to answer this question, said do you need a CPA if you go to accounting and finance? So I think you should only get one if you confirm that you actually enjoy doing the work, or you actually want to do the work, right? Enjoying and wanting to do the work are two different things, right? You might want to do the work because it's able to, support the things that you like doing or you enjoy doing. So if you want to do the work, you get your CPA or your CFA, and it's gonna work for both, accounting and finance. Seen a lot of CFOs with their CFAs and CPAs. Um, so you should be able to You know, yeah, so I would recommend getting it before you actually know what the job consists of. Even with finance itself, like there's so many things that are that fall under finance, right? You might go into work at like an investment firm that is that is like in financial services, right? And you're gonna realize, yeah, I don't really like working with this. You might go work for let's say McDonald's, right? By working in the finance department, you might enjoy that better than working at an insurance firm, in finance, because it's fast paced and there's different things. So you need to try these things out before you think about getting a certification that's going to cost a lot of money, as well as investments of you're gonna have to invest a lot of money in these certifications, and most people don't even pass these within the first try. It takes them a couple tries to pass this, so it's gonna take a lot of time. So that is pretty much it for this live stream or a video or episode. This is we're two for two. Unless there's any questions, I'm gonna be out of here, and this is gonna be posted on the channel. If you want to watch this tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the day after that, you're gonna be able to do that. So that is pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.